So 7.5 years ago, I started a creative project. A creative project a lot like the ones that I'm doing today, like the 100-day vlogging challenge or the 365 moments. But back then it was a little bit different. It was a different season in my life. Some people call it the dark night of the soul. This season is a season where you're quite frustrated with life. For me, I felt very disillusioned with the work that I did, and simply I was a bit angry. Angry at the world and angry at God. And in that season of just of discontent and dissatisfaction and just sitting in my pity party, we did what any normal family would do. We went to get frozen yogurt, and we grabbed our 1-year-old baby, Sophia at the time, and the wife, and we drove to Pinkberry. And I took a seat as my wife and Sophia picked out the toppings for the yogurt. And as I was observing and taking notice of what was going on, to my left, there was this collection of trinkets, very colorful plastic trinkets that they had for sale. And I couldn't understand how that fit into the business plan of Pinkberry, but it did. And so, one of the trinkets that really caught my attention was this yellow bunny. This yellow bunny that was inside of a top hat. And so, I got on my seat and approached it and picked it up, and when I pulled the ears off the top hat, I realized that it was actually a toothpick holder. And so, for me, I thought, wow, that's pretty clever. And then I looked at the bottom of the top hat and realized that this is for sale for $35. And in that moment, a bunch of questions just came rushing to my mind, and the curiosity just really overtook me. I started thinking about the person who thought it would be a good idea to take a bunny in a top hat and make that into a toothpick holder. I was wondering why maybe the creator of it chose the color yellow for this particular trinket, and also just thinking about what was the mindset behind charging $35 for a piece of plastic. So as I kind of continued on this journey of curiosity, it sparked this idea, this creative project idea. And what it was is, I from that moment I said, I'm gonna actually start paying attention to the yellow of this world. Inspired by the yellow bunny. And every time I see the color yellow, I'm gonna stop, take a picture of it, and ask a couple of questions. And that's how the project, the story of yellow, began. Now, in the beginning it was kind of hard. I used to carry around the big camera, and I used to have to pull over every other pretty much minute and take a picture of yellow, because as I started looking for the yellow of this world, it was everywhere. And then so I just stopped driving and I decided to walk, because I kept having to pull over because there was little yellow yield signs, yellow markings, just a bunch of yellow. And so I started walking to work, which was about 1.5 miles away. And even then, I had to keep stopping and taking a bunch of pictures because I kept running into the color yellow. And thank God that, back then the Palm Pilot came out with a camera. And so I didn't have to carry around my big camera anymore. And so I just started using my smartphone to start capturing those images. But the big epiphany hit when I actually started really thinking about, man, once I started looking for the yellow of this world and being intentional and letting it kind of interrupt my day, it was everywhere to be found. And kind of the big epiphany happened when I actually converted the idea of yellow to this idea of beauty. When I started looking for the beauty in this world, there was so much to be found. And I think for me, story of yellow, just to really kind of package it and sum up my learnings from it, is that we actually have a choice in what we choose to see. We could choose to see the beauty in people, or we could choose to see the ugliness in people. And I believe that there's beauty in all of us. Sometimes it's harder to see than not, but I think if we choose to look for the beauty, we will find it. And so for me, kind of the thesis around Story of Yellow is that, what would the world look like if we actually began to see the beauty within ourselves, saw the beauty within each other, and saw the beauty in the world, how this world could possibly change. Because in my mind, I think it's quite difficult to want to destroy anything that's beautiful. This little project that started off with the yellow bunny, as I even think back to that moment 7.5 years ago, has truly formed me to be the person I am today. It taught me to pay attention to the world and that it's okay to be interrupted. And so maybe what is that one thing that you need to be looking for, that you need to be intentional of, that you need to start paying attention to? And maybe that could help change your life or even enrich your life. Maybe that can make your life more beautiful.